as a child. I really enjoyed watching courtroom TV shows that involve lawyers. However, I noticed that there were few women in those positions as TV lawyers, and there are even few to none Black women lawyers represented in those positions. So that intrigued me and motivated me to become a trial lawyer.
What inspired me to pursue a career in law is actually watching my parents go through the immigration process at a really young age. They were granted political asylum when they moved from Hungary to Toronto, and I was aware that there were, significant obstacles for them throughout the process, and, I really wanted to be part of helping individuals navigate that process.
There was this camp at Eastern Michigan that was focused on the law and what careers could look like there. I went to this camp and Rosa Parks came and spoke with us, and it was just an amazing opportunity to hear someone from the civil rights movement, not a lawyer herself, but certainly just highlighting what the law does for us. And her simple act of defiance that day, to sit in that seat and not give in again, and to fight for the rights of others, and to just basically do what's right, really spoke to me.
What inspired me to seek a career in law was my father. We spent a lot of time together, and we would go to the store or the restaurant, and invariably people would come up to him, reintroduce themselves as former clients, and thank him for all of the things that he did for them. And I could tell that he was pretty proud of that, and I was really proud of that. And I saw what he did for people as a lawyer.
My passion for advocacy and my natural inclination to understand our rights in society is what drew me to law. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do with my life, I knew I wanted a career that would give me independence and challenge me, but I also wanted something that would allow me to be creative and help others.
It was just sort of a fortuitous bunch of twists and turns of life, I think, that got me here. I decided to further my education, and law school seemed like a great way to do it. Went to law school and thought, even if I don't become a lawyer, this is going to be a good background. So went through my law school career and then had the opportunity to become a summer associate at Varnum, and thought, I'm probably not going to go into private practice, but let me try it and I'll rule it out. And I've been here 16 years and love it, so it was lucky that I found myself in a career in the law.
A woman in the legal industry who inspires me is Charlotte E. Ray. She is the first known African-American graduate from law school. She actually had to go to law school under a disguised gender. She applied under C. Ray, and again, is the first known African-American lawyer, and is a pioneer for attorneys like myself all across the United States.
I would have to say Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She showed young girls and women what they were capable of achieving. This absolute force of nature who paved the way for gender equality. And not only did she transform our legal landscape, but she showed women a path in which you could have a rewarding career and also enjoy a family life and friendships.
A woman in the legal industry that inspires me is probably all of the women of Varnum, both past and present. It's not an easy thing to do, to balance a professional and personal life in this career, but the women that have come before us in these younger generations have truly paved the way for us.
It was a woman that I worked for when I was a law clerk, and then I had the privilege of working with her later in my career as well. And she taught me that as long as you have good relationships with people and you're constantly working hard and putting forth your best effort, that is what's going to form you into a great attorney.
A woman that has influenced my career tremendously has been my mom. She was a very successful partner at a CPA firm. Her whole job was all about client service. And so I remember from a young age watching her develop these relationships with her clients that went beyond just the transactional aspect of the job. And she was truly their sound advisor. I remember watching her develop these relationships and, maintain her life at home with us growing up, and never missing a basketball game and never missing any of my major life events, but still absolutely excelling in her career.
I have been lucky enough to have a lot of great female mentors as a lawyer. On my very first day of practicing law, I met two former coworkers who took me under their wing right away. They taught me everything about practicing law, about balancing a career and a family. They took me to networking events and introduced me to all of their connections. I have been very lucky to still have a relationship with these two women. They still offer me career advice, and I'm thankful for them holding my hand for my whole first few years as an attorney.
A woman who has influenced my career and mentored me as well, her name is Nancy Deal. She was a prosecutor in Wayne County. The thing that was remarkable about Nancy was her command of everything. And when I would go to the prosecutor's office to work, there would always be some prosecutors in her office asking for her advice or going over cases, and she sat very patiently with them. And when I graduated, she asked me to help her form a 501c3. I still sit on that board, the advisory board to that program today. So I spent a couple of decades with her on that board and watching her command that room. Actually, it was just about 5 years ago. She gave me a picture of the scales of justice. It's beautiful. And she said, I remember when you were, in law school working for me, and look how far you've come, and I'm really proud of you for that. And that picture is still in my office today.
My mother was always a really great example of where hard work can get you both professionally and personally. She is really respected in her career and has just done a great job of building that for herself, and that was always really inspiring growing up. And I don't think I would be where I am today without her.
It has been corporate women, it's been women in the nonprofit sector, and each of them has played various integral roles in my development. And when I think about what has been most impactful, it's women who have really charged me with thinking larger, from a different perspective, envisioning things on a different level. And that's been impactful to my development, and then hopefully, I'm able to pass that on.
I had the opportunity to be mentored really early on when I became an attorney through a partner here, Marilyn Langford. And Marilyn was a teacher before she was a lawyer, and I think that made her a really good teacher to me and mentor. And she taught me that there's so much more to the practice of law than just our technical skills and knowing the law. And she really had those soft skills that just showed me how important the work we do is and how important it is to the people who I'm helping. And it just really made me love the work that I do.
My advice to a woman considering law would be, if you're passionate about this, do it, and do it with everything that you have. If you're not, find something that you're passionate about. Life is too short to do something because you think you have to or you should.
I would say be yourself. I think women lawyers often feel pressure that they need to be something that they're not, that they need to either appear nicer, quieter, more soft-spoken, or they need to be more assertive and more like what they think a strong personality is. And ultimately, an attorney is an advocate, and your most effective advocacy will happen when you're being your authentic self.
I would say don't get caught up in LSAT scores, prestigious law school admissions, or fancy internships. As long as you work hard and you're dedicated to your career, there are so many doors that will open for you.
My advice would be to really take the reins on your career. You are the champion for your own career, and you may not be presented with all opportunities. And so it's okay to, be a champion for yourself and to ask to be included in certain client meetings, or to ask to attend the networking events or happy hours. Really speaking up for yourself and putting yourself in the room is probably the best advice that I could give, because at the end of the day, you're creating the path for yourself, and you just have to be the champion for your own career.
I think anytime you start a new job, everyone is trying to offer you career advice. I would say something that really stuck with me early on in my career is that no one is going to have confidence in you unless you have confidence in yourself. And confidence really translates into negotiating a deal, being an effective communicator, presenting an idea to a coworker or a senior attorney.
I would just say be authentic. I think there's a lot of room for different perspectives and personalities in the legal industry, and I really think we should embrace that.
You just need to enjoy the ride along the way. It is a very pressured career choice, and you never really feel like you're on top of everything. And I think sometimes when we get later in our careers like I am, you kind of look back and wish you had enjoyed it more along the way and focused on the little victories. And there will always be another hill to climb, but there's a lot of fun along the way to be had as you enter into it.